Okay, so I'm going to show you the two different types of dupe menus that I usually work with. The first type is mainly dupe menus when it comes to, um, I guess, faking a highlight layer, because the highlight layer can only, be color. It's 2-bit, so it's either on or off. But sometimes when you watch movies, they'll actually show graphics in the highlight layer, but that's not actually part of the highlight layer, but the end user is none the wiser. So with this particular project, it's a movie that my wife recorded when she was in high school for a school project 12 years ago. And here a while back, I thought that it would be funny to, well, not really funny, but whatever, to put it on DVD. It was originally on just VHS format, so it's just standard definition. But I figured I'd cut out all the cuts, and there were titles that were not very well executed, so I did them better with Premiere. There were transitions I added, and the background music I changed. Did some digital noise reduction, some other stuff like that, just, whatever. And, but at any rate, so with, I'll go ahead and show this project off. I'll just go ahead and load up the ISO. That'll be better. But this right here is a particular type of highlight layer where you're actually, or the dupe menu, we're actually doing the highlight layer. So, restart. I added a FBI warning because I thought it'd be cute. Go ahead and skip that. It automatically loads up the movie. I have the movie on first play, so you don't have to go to the menu first. So I'll go ahead and go to the title menu. But I'll go ahead and load up the remote too. Okay, so anyway, you see how I have a knife, a bloody knife, recognizing that that's with the highlight layer as well as the wording is in red. But if the wording was just in red by itself, you would know it would be kind of difficult to figure out which one was the highlight layer because I have no other indications. So I added the knife. And of course you can't add a graphic to the highlight layer, so I have to actually have it dupe menu. So what this is the highlight layer itself is changing the text color, but the knife is actually part of the graphic itself, or I'm sorry, the background graphic itself. The knife is actually part of the Photoshop composition. So if we move down, it automatically opens up a different menu screen, which I had another graphic with the knife part of the background graphic. And so it opens up a new screen with that particular layer set already selected. So in Encore, I'll go ahead and pull that up. Let's see. Yeah, okay, here we go. So as I show this, it shows that that's auto activate. So whenever you highlight over it, it automatically chooses it. See, when I highlight over that, it okay, there we go. It's wanting to be laggy. So anyway, when I highlight over that, it automatically activates it. When I highlight over the chapters, it automatically activates it. And vice versa, see. So that's basically how I did it, is with the auto activate. So whenever you highlight over that particular link in the menu, it auto activates that particular menu. If I open this up in Photoshop, so you can get an idea of what this looks like. Okay, so as you see, okay, never mind. No, the text is actually red, part of the menu. Okay, so that's all part of the background. But anyway, so here's the knife. I can take that out. It's actually part of the background. As you see, the red text is actually part of the menu. So this is all, there's no layer highlight at all, actually. This is my button set, and this is another button set, but as you see, there's no layer highlights. So whenever you're actually looking at the thing and you automatically highlight over that, then it shows up. Anyway, so okay, so we go to chapters, and it opens up this. So we'll, we can go back to the main title. Okay, whatever. But I had a separate menu for, well, I'm sorry, the only menu is for at the end. So when the movie gets done playing, it automatically loads up the menu. And so anyway, so there's your, basically your dupe menu when it comes to using graphics in the layer set highlight thing. And the other type this is my brother's wedding. Let's see. This is a little bit more complex than the last one because the dupe menus, I have 4 different language settings. And so I'll go ahead and pull that one up as well. I prefer to load up the ISOs because it works a little bit better than the Encore thingy. And of course, the FBI warning. Can't get past the FBI warning on this. Wait, yeah, you can. I'll just go ahead and skip it. Okay, so works like an actual menu. Everything, whatever. Whenever we click on setup, thinking that the highlight layer should be red. It's not red, and that looks really bad. I haven't finalized this one, so I'm still working on this one because they're supposed to be recording the commentary track because he thought that that would be funny. So this is still kind of a work in progress. But at any rate, with this one, it's like your typical language settings. We highlight different ones. Well, I'll select DTS 5.1 and want to that one. Go up Dolby, hit OK. The wedding band moves up to that one. That signifies that that is now the language track that we have chosen. So now I'll go back to the main menu, and by going to main menu, I can choose the different chapters. Or I can go back to setup. When I go back to setup, as you see, it's already showing the Dolby 5.1 is the one that's selected. And that is with a dupe menu. Again, because each one of my language settings, I've created dupe menus for those. So it's more like Hollywood, how whenever you click on the main menu and you go back to setup, it still shows the same one selected. Just like if I highlight commentary, hit OK, go back to main menu. I go look at photos, the chapters. I'll go back to main menu. I'll go back to setup. And as you see, the commentary is still highlighted. Because what I have is I have a menu set for chapters, a menu set for the audio setup, a menu set for the photos, and each one of those 3 menu sets is its own thing. If you look at my menus, or project, I guess that'd be better. See, I have a folder for the commentary menu, which has a setup, domain, chapters, chapters. I have one for Dolby Digital, which has setup, main, chapters, chapters. I have one for DTS, which has setup, main, chapters, chapters. So I have all these folders set up for this. And so, I can click on the various different folders here, or the various different menu pages. But as you see, it's showing a different thing. So that's more of an idea, a very rough idea of what dupe menus can do. If this was just a regular menu, I would click on stereo, and it would automatically open up the movie. Or I'd click on DTS, it would automatically open up the movie. But with the fact I have dupe menus, now I can choose Adobe 5.1. I can go back to main menu. I can go to photos. I can look at photos. I can go to the chapters menu. I can scroll through the different chapters. And then I can go back to setup, and it still has that selection highlighted. So whenever I go to watch the main movie, which is the play wedding, it still has that language setting selected. And so there's a broader idea of what dupe menus can do for you. The more you get into it, the more advanced you get into dupe menus. Like if you're dealing with like Hollywood type productions, it can get very, very, very thick, very quick. Because as you're seeing here, we'll go to menus. I have on my main menu, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different things. This is a movie, and this is a movie. This is a chapters, which has 2 pages and a setup. But as you see, I have all these actual menu pages here. So as you see that, it can get pretty branched out. And say if I had even subtitles, which I don't because I'm way too lazy to encode subtitles for this thing or for any of my productions. But if I had subtitles, I would have even more selections over here, because then when we open up the setup, then we would have selections for subtitles that we would choose, and that would be additional dupe menus. And for each selection that would be on audio setup, that'd be one more folder, and I have to duplicate all these menus again with that particular selection. So, if you're looking at the flowchart, we have play wedding photos, we have setup. So when you click on setup, it has all these links, and as you see, it's just, I'll scroll back a little bit. See, for something as simple as a wedding DVD, see how much is involved in that, and that's because of all the dupe menus. And if I had language settings as far as subtitles, it would be that much further out. It's a lot of stuff to have to deal with when you start dealing with dupe menus. And you're also looking at continuity, because if you mess up on one, then the whole thing, the continuity is all messed up. So there's a lot to keep track of. But in the end, it's a better production, and it looks better, it looks more professional, and it's more user-friendly. It's more work to get set up, but in the end, as I said, it's more user-friendly. So there's an idea of what you can do with dupe menus. So hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.